welcome back again to my video. So my name is Putu Anggi Prasetya Suwita and I from 4G class. So today in this occasion I would like to do a critical review from an article. So this is the result of my critical review. So without further ado, let's get started. So the title of the article is Integrating Culture into ELT Classes, What, Why and How. So this article is written by Ozlim Karagats Tuna and Salim Razi. So the purpose of the article is to conduct an investigation of how pre-service and in-service foreign language teachers consider integrating culture into language teaching. So the method used in this article to collect the data is through an inventory of cultural components and interviews to produce quantitative and qualitative data. In addition, this study was attended by 75 students from 4th grade ELT students in the Faculty of Education and 43 English teachers in foreign language school at Pamukkale University in Turkey. So which means there are 118 participants. So all participants responded to the inventory, but only 5 students and 4 teachers were interviewed for the research question. So there are 9 categories consisting of 45 items in inventory and 3 research questions. So as a result, this study found that both pre-service and in-service teachers consider the broad scope of cultural elements that must be integrated into EFL classes to develop intercultural skills. So the author discusses that this finding is very different from the research conducted by Onalan 2005, which is only 65% consider culture as a component in language teaching. So this means a decade after Onalan research, cultural awareness in ELT classes has increased. So this increase is due to the development of ICC or intercultural communicative competence. So to integrate culture successfully, videos are recommended because videos can be trusted and also very beneficial way to integrate culture into EFL classes. So the data in this study were divided into 2, which is quantitative and qualitative data. Both data are well presented. Quantitative data is very good because this study involved quite a number of participants, more than 100 people. But on the other hand, qualitative data needs to be expanded because the number of participants interviewed is too small compared in the total of all participants. So perhaps the data will be more qualitative if more participants are interviewed, at least half of the total participants, so there will be many opinions or points of view where better qualitative data will be obtained. So there are 2 important statements that I already underlined from the conclusion of the article. So the first one is the participant in this study highlight that language and culture are woven together and cannot be separated. I strongly agree with that statement because language and culture cannot be separated. They complete each other. So we can see from the interaction between the speaker and the listener. For example, so people who use English will usually directly use the name of the person to other person, even though the person itself is older than them. So it is natural for the English-speaking community Of course, it will be rude if it will be rude if used by the Indonesian speakers. But in this case, when EFL students learn the target language, they also learn about culture. Why? Because linguist background is also culture. So it means students cannot learn language without culture. This is also supported by Krasner, 1999. Culture has a very close relationship with language, even in the context of education. In the world of education, teaching foreign language, for example, understanding the culture of the target language speakers becomes a norm. Therefore, there is no reason not to realize the importance of culture literacy in the target language. So the second is, video were suggested as the most beneficial way to integrate culture into EFL classes. So the writer also emphasized that the teacher's justification for these responses was related to motivational factor. So I also strongly agree with this statement because currently the teaching media not only have to rely on the textbooks, but learning resources can also be obtained from video. By using video, students will get a direct picture of how the application of culture and language. It also can help the students to increase their motivation to learn, so that the students will not easily feel bored in the classroom. Of course, the use of the video must be also based on the material from the textbooks. So overall, this article is very good and useful because it explains a good issues which is relevant for EFL teachers in the classroom. So I think that's all that I can tell you about critical review today. I hope my explanation is quite clear, and thank you for watching.